iPhone users say they are better, that once you use an iPhone, you can go back. While on the other hand, Android users say they are better because they give you more value, more power, and more freedom. Today, we are going to be settling the debate of iPhone versus Android. If you're interested in seeing or hearing what I have to say, stay tuned.
Oh, this is clean. This is clean. This is what I mean.
We are going to first of all start with the cons of both devices, and we are going to start first with the Android. We are going to talk about the battery life. Let's say you bring a 5000 mAh Android device and you bring a 5000 mAh iPhone device. The 5000 mAh of the Android is always going to be inferior to the iPhone. And I am noticing the same trend in the silicon carbon batteries that have been coming out recently. You are now seeing devices that boast of 7000 mAh of battery, even up to 10,000. But when you pit them against devices like the Apple and Samsung, they don't seem to live as long as they claim. So that would be one of the cons of the Android in my opinion. Although Samsung is an Android in itself. But the focal point of this particular comparison is the Apple. It seems to always stay true to its battery claim. So that is one of its pros. Now let's move on to the second con. It is not as easy to film content with my Android phone as it is with the iPhone. For example, I am a beauty and lifestyle content creator. Let's say I am filming and I have to step out for something. When I come back, I can just press play on my remote, continue from where I stopped and not bother about wondering if my phone is sleeping or if it has gone blank. But with the Android phone, after a few minutes of inactivity, it goes on sleeper, and most times I forget that the Android sleeps, and that gives me a lot of headache because when I feel like it's filming at the end of the day, I check the footage and lo and behold, it was not filming. So using the iPhone or Apple devices for content creation is easier, and words cannot even begin to explain or express how easy it is to film content with the iPhone. Third con/pro would be image and video quality. Now, it is not new that the iPhone always is at the top when it comes to qualities of this nature. Many flagship devices from the Android world can beat it when it comes to image quality because this, in a sense, depends on the preference of the user. But when it comes to the video quality, iPhone still reigns supreme. Many Android phones come in at a very close second, but iPhone is always the king of kings. And since I started using the iPhone, I do believe even my viewers can tell that there is a huge difference between the quality now and my quality then. So this is a huge pro on the iPhone side. Let's talk about the cons of the iPhone. When I first started using Apple devices in 2014, many things that I experienced then has been taken out now by way of updates, which in my opinion feel like very serious downgrades. In 2014, I could ask Siri any question and it will bring out the results of the questions and narrate it to me. These days, when I ask Siri any question on my iPhone, it brings out the results and expects me to search or do my research manually. There is no big deal in doing that, but coming from somebody that has been using Android as her main driver for the longest time, it is a very big headache for me. And I am not the only one that has complained about this. Everyone around me that uses iPhones complain about how browsing with Siri is not as easy, straightforward, and breezy as browsing with, let's say, Google Gemini or ChatGPT. And to show how serious this is, because I feel like maybe many people have complained about this, I saw an announcement in January where Apple said that they were partnering with Google to help improve their AI assistant features so that it can be, I hope so, it can be as seamless as Google Gemini. Hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to see improvements in that area of iOS. Let me quickly state another pro of the iPhone, and that is its ecosystem. Now, when you get an iPhone and you decide you want a smartwatch, the first smartwatch that comes into your head to buy is always the Apple smartwatch. And for the people that get that, the next thing they want to get is tags, and they decide that they want Apple AirTags, they want AirPods. Some of them might not get the Apple AirPods, but their preference would be to get the AirPods. Then we talk about Apple TVs, we talk about iPads, talk about the MacBooks, etc. and etc. This type of loyalty, I would not say is completely inexistent in the Android world. It is very easy for Android users to not get maybe the same device from the same brand. For instance, I am a huge fan of Xiaomi products, but I wanted to get a smartwatch and I got a Huawei smartwatch. I wanted to get a tablet and I got a T-class tablet. I wanted earbuds and I got one from China. So you see, and I realized all this after getting all the devices, and I was like, Xiaomi makes all these things. And if I had gotten Xiaomi products, I would have been able to use the IR blaster to some extent. I would try my best moving forward to get more of Xiaomi products so that I'll be able to make use of that IR blaster, like maybe the Xiaomi vacuum cleaner or the Xiaomi TV, Xiaomi tablet, Xiaomi laptops, and the rest of them. Now, pro to Apple's iOS, it is easier for Apple iOS consumers to create an Apple ecosystem than it is Android users. Next con of this device is that it is not very intuitive to use. The Android is extremely straightforward, iPhone is not. Let's say, for instance, with the emails, I can have 10-15 emails on my Android phone from my tablet to my phone, and I can switch emails anyhow and anytime I want. That is not the case with the iPhone. I still haven't even mastered how to access my main email on my iPhone. And many iPhone users that had Androids as their main drivers and still have Androids as their main drivers complain about this as well. Certain features on the iPhone aren't very easy. They tend to give headaches compared to the Android. Like, let's say, chatting on WhatsApp, posting up attachments on WhatsApp. The attachments always fail to upload, especially if the network is pretty bad. The problem is not that severe when it comes to the Android. Just overall using the iPhone with things that are so easy to use in the Android becomes a huge headache. Things as small as copy and paste. On Android devices, you can copy up to 5 things at once on the clipboard and even pin about 5 more things, essentially making your workflow very streamlined and breezy. This does not exist with the iPhone. It tells, when you copy something, it tells you it has been copied to the clipboard. There's no clipboard, it is just a clip line. You can only copy and paste one thing at a time. And for somebody that has been using Android for years and enjoying this particular feature, for me to have to be subjected to doing this with the iPhone, headache is aplenty, I must tell you. Please, if you have experienced any of these things that I am highlighting above, especially as somebody that has used Android for a while and is now using iPhone, please drop down in the comments and let me know your experiences. And while you're down there, consider hitting the subscribe button, then hit the thumbs up button if you are liking what you are hearing so far. This particular con I am about to mention is one that till today, when I remember it, it still hurts me. On this particular day, just a few short months after getting the phone overheats out of nowhere. Yeah, the weather was quite hot that day, so the phone starts overheating out of nowhere. Before you know it, the screen of the phone went white. They said that it was the notorious white screen of the iPhone 13 Pro Max and other iPhones. As I later learned, it cost me 25,000 naira to fix that white screen and the stupid overheating that came with it, because even when trying to like maybe use the phone with its white screen by turning on the voiceover, just to get a few things that I could get blindly. I have also been hearing that this particular con exists not only in the iPhone 13 Pro Max, it is more predominant in the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but it exists in other iPhones as well. So this is a con, and low key, I am a bit scared to get another iPhone, because what if I spend so much money on the iPhone, I use it as little as I do use it, and all of a sudden it gets white again. The main cause of it going white the last time was because of the overheating, and again, factory issues that the phone is notorious for having. Let us mention another con of the iPhone. I might be mistaken, and feel free to correct me in the comment section. I don't think any Android can beat the speaker system on the iPhone. It's like 3D surround sound when I raise the volume to the highest. The Androids don't do this. You can get Android devices that are loud, but to have sound coming out from the speaker that sounds like it's in 3D, I haven't seen an Android device that does that yet. Again, you can correct me in the comment section, and while you're down there, subscribe, notify, like. Yeah, I do believe this is going to be the last comparison, and this is about some Apple apps, some iOS apps that don't work as well as they should. For instance, I already made mention of how it is way too difficult to switch from emails to email, also even to access my main email. Again, stomachache in my head. We talk about things like the weather app, difficult to navigate, difficult to use as well, or at least difficult compared to the Android weather apps. When I am browsing, I cannot use Safari because Google Chrome is better. We now have to download Google Chrome onto my iOS device. I want to save things up to a drive. I am using Google Drive on my iOS. At a point, I have so many Google apps on my iPhone. I'm looking at it like, if not for the fact that I be content creator, I would not be using an iPhone, because as you can clearly see from this video. The only pros that are attached to the iPhone is the ease of use when it comes to filmmaking and content creation. Lastly, and this is a huge one for me, I am visually impaired. I am not blind. My vision is just poor. And iPhone, based on my memory, was one of the very first devices that made features for people with different disabilities, hearing, visual, mobility disabilities. These days, the accessibility features are, again, terrible. Let me not say compared to the Android features, because Android accessibility suite is fantastic. They keep updating it, making it better and better and better than it used to be. I, with my specific type of disability, can tell you that Android is the best when it comes to accessibility features. And whenever I'm using the iPhone with my accessibility features, my VoiceOver, Siri and all that, I use it and I wonder how people that, have no vision at all use this. Hopefully, if Apple is able to see this video, they can make some tweaks, some changes, some adjustments on the above things that I have highlighted. And based on the announcements in January, talking about the partnership or collaboration with Google to improve their AI assistant, it shows that they are listening to what the people are saying, because it can't be only me that has been or is complaining about all these things. So hopefully in the coming future, Apple will be able to address all the remaining square that is wrong with its device, because very soon even that title of being best photographic, best videographic device is going to be snatched from it. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving me a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more content like this, because I am a beauty lifestyle and I also make tech reviews based on beauty content on this channel, so if you're interested in seeing content like that, consider subscribing, turning on your notification bell so that you get notified every single time I upload a new video. See you in my next one. Love you and choose.